So this is the updated quad stack. I haven't made a quad stack with a 3-inch coil in a while. The last ones I made were for EM audio. Yes, I was the American builder for EM audio. I was the OEM. I didn't sign an NDA or anything like that. And things went bad, mostly because um, Eagle and his partner, what's the word? I'll call it enthusiasm. They're enthusiastic, but please don't give Eagle a hard time. He's just a regular guy with a bad haircut trying to make a living. So I don't have any ill feelings against him, but for me, I blocked him because he doesn't take no for an answer. That's right. So in this culture now, this was 2 years ago now. In this culture, that's called rape culture, but you know, he doesn't like to hear no, and so he tries really hard. So, but I just couldn't handle. Uh, there, I had a lot of sour feelings. So, but I won't get into it in this video. I'm probably will later tell you about that whole fucking deal. But anyways, yes, I was the builder. So, the fruity flavors and all that stuff. Yeah, we had brainstormed with Eagle and tried to come up with something that would make him unique and make and the whole idea about being American made. He liked that, and so everybody in car audio is always looking for an edge, right? Because otherwise you're literally the same as everybody else. And so sometimes brands will do like a theme, right? And we're talking about every theme under the neighborhood. In fact, I listened to a podcast of Robert Hi-Fi Vega and Big D Wiz. And they talked to I think it was the Hog Tunes guys. So the Hog Tunes guys, it's an interesting interview because they talk about some of the issues that they had to overcome. Is their stuff overpriced like everybody else's? Yes, fuck yeah. But that's why they're doing it. They're doing it for money. And so if you're upfront about that, it's not that it makes it any easier to swallow, but these biker guys, I mean, it's what they call it, big boy toys. I have moral problems against enabling that crowd. I think men should not do that. I think there's much better things you can do with your life than just get toys. But saying that's basically 99% of all my audience. So is it smart to criticize your audience and your consumer? No. But nobody said I was good at business, right? Because this is not a business. This is a school. We're here to learn. So, but I wanted to talk about this. This is the quad stack. This is with the Volcano audio ferrite, Kentucky made by Crucible, which I'm probably sure doesn't even exist anymore. I'm sure they turned it into like a steel mill or some sort of fabrication factory. But this is for a guy named Ward. That's his real name. I forgot his other name. Anyways, so what I wanted to talk about was I'm recycling a Rockford. See that little punch? That's Rockford, or at least from their build house. This is a top plate from either a T, as in Tango, T0 or T1. And I like the opening. I didn't have to modify the opening, but I did take this to the machine shop. I don't even do them myself anymore. They charge me like $5-10 each, and I'm like, that's plenty. I'll take that. So what I'm going to do though is this is going to be the top, which is the negative. I'm sorry, the positive. This is the positive terminal, and I'm a little concerned for two things. Number one, the top plate also acts as kind of a heat sink, which allows the woofer to sort of take a little more abuse. I have really mixed feelings on this because you don't want to encourage abuse, but again, 99% of the guys out there are abusive, whether they, or I should say they're roughhousing. I can hear my mom's voice, "Good boy, stop roughhousing." So they kind of are tough with their toys. And I was a little concerned about, one, the heat dissipation that I can get out of this. Is there any way that I can augment it? And most of the way that companies augment it is they actually somehow connect the frame to this part, because the frame is made of aluminum, which is really good for, you know, sinking away heat. And so you actually do use the frame whether you like it or not, because it is bolted to the top plate and the top plate gets hot. But I am worried about the glue joint, because if that gets too hot, then it fails, and then you get a shift and then it's over. So one of the things I wanted to do to kind of offset that was to add a top plate like that. I mean, not crusty like that, but, you know, pretty looking. There we go. Now it's pretty. So I'm having a bunch of these because I need to double stack these anyway, because we're out of these guys. We're out of the big ones. So we're going to do a double stack thin one, which is like 1/2 inch, 13 millimeter, whatever. And so what I'm going to do is I do a drill a hole through. So it's a through hole that's countersink for M6, because M6 is the standard, and these are already tapped out for M6. And so what you do is you put it on there, and then it'll bolt through. And so I will prep the steel so that it's metal to metal contact. You want to make, and I do prep the bottom. You want to grind that basically as flat as possible. And oh, I forgot to show you on the Sundown. Maybe I'll do that in another video. Anyways, Sundown does this weird prep thing from the factory that I think it caused a lot of problems, but it's because the factory is lazy. So sometimes it's hard to get the factory to do what you want the way that you want it, and many times you piss them off, and then they're vengeful, and they're unpredictable, and it's so weird because you're getting such a good deal on their labor anyway. You're like, look, I'll pay you, and it's not. It's a principle thing. So, and I'll get later into China anyway, but that's Chinese culture. But very proud society. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is this, and then what you end up with is that, which is really great. That's a gap, which you can say, well, that looks stupid. Well, actually, what it does is it reveals all that steel. So it actually has a great heat sink. So you got all that surface area. And you got to remember, typically most of these are mounted sideways. So that's now vertical. So now you got gravity helping you, because cold air will fall, hot air will rise. And so now it's a big steel heat sink. And it also adds a bit more magnetic material to help and aid with the gap. And I think we're doing this on the TI frame? Yeah, we're doing this on a TI frame. And so there's going to be plenty of clearance and everything's going to be fine. So, but this is going to be the new style quad stack, because I forgot that I had all these. I ended up getting them all drilled and tapped. These are all Rockford T1s, T0s from the trash that I went through and turned into T1 Extremes, where I put triple the ferrite and got double the power handling. So anyways, love you guys. Talk to you later.